It's late at night, but the mission here at the Air Force Base Hashimara never ends. These two pilots have been deployed for a sortie on the Rafale fighter. Night operations are common here.
Unlock. Only free to move. Uplock open. Additional switch van.
Hashimara, located in the narrow sliver of land called the Chicken's Neck, is a frontline airbase that defends Indian airspace against the threat of a growing Chinese military presence across the line of actual control in this region. The pilots here have often detected Chinese fighters from across the LAC. For now, there's a strained peace. No fighter from either side approaches to within 10 kilometers of the line of actual control.
Hello and welcome to a very special program. We are here at the Hashimara Air Force Base of the Indian Air Force with the 101 Squadron, which flies the Rafale fighter aircraft. You can see a Rafale behind me. On this program, we'll give you a full sense of the young squadron pilots as they get set to meet India's challenges on the China frontier. The squadron is fully operational, fully active. They've taken part in exercises abroad as well. We'll be talking to the young officers. We'll also be talking to the Air Officer Commanding-in-Chief of the Eastern Air Command to give you a full idea of the Indian Air Force and its preparation in this area.
Group Captain Abhishek Tripathi is the commanding officer of 101 Squadron. This morning he heads to the briefing room. 5 pilots, including him personally, have a mission. They're scheduled to take off within the hour.
2100 hours, safety height 20,000 feet. Teesta Bravo firing range not active. Binapudi range active till 1700 hours, safety height 3000 feet. Flight level 200 to flight level 260 is buffer zone for civil flights.
6 km cloudy tempo TSRA. Weather warning for thunderstorm, rain, poor visibility and low clouds till 0730 hours. Patna 6 km cloudy, tempo CMR, tempo broken 012, CMR condition.
Within minutes, the pilots are off to kit out, wearing their G-suits before marching across the tarmac to their waiting jets.
101 Squadron has recently participated in many international exercises. Flying in these exercises gives us immense exposure of basically doing the similar things but in different manner. This also gives us an opportunity to demonstrate our capability and might to the rest of the world. We have been able to successfully integrate this aircraft completely to its potential with our already existing arsenal. As far as the international exercises goes, IAF has always been at the forefront. However, with the advent with this aircraft addition, it definitely gives you an edge in terms of technology and situational awareness at its as it magnifies manyfold. And the effect on our combat effectiveness and all our combat elements in the recent exercise have been visible, and and also the IAF has been able to stand out and been exceptional in these exercises in the recent past.
The fighters here have a sortie lasting an hour. The jets taxi out of their shelters and head to the runway. The Rafale is a multi-role fighter. The Indian Air Force operates 2 squadrons of Rafales. There are a total of 36 jets. The IAF has 2 Rafale squadrons, one in Ambala and one in Hashimara.
The Indian Air Force operates 2 squadrons of the Rafale aircraft, one at Ambala north of Delhi and the 101 squadron over here in Hashimara. And as we enter the squadron headquarters over here, here's the message. Falcons, that's the name of the squadron, seek and destroy. Through the Falcons gate past the youngest, oldest, boldest and the finest fighter pilots in the world.
The Falcons have a very special guest today. The Air Marshal who has the awesome responsibility of heading all of India's air defences across the Eastern Command.
Well, they say that the Indian Air Force is one large family, and it is true in a sense, and one of the key members of that family is the Air Officer Commanding-in-Chief. We've got the Air Officer Commanding-in-Chief of the Eastern Air Command, Air Marshal S.P. Dharkar. Wonderful to have you and talk to us, and it's great to be here in Hashimara. I believe you've been here before.
I have. In fact, I've operated from this very tarmac while I was commanding a MiG-27 squadron.
Right. And so the 27 to the Rafale, a huge transition for the Indian Air Force.
And a wonderful one at that.
It is. And you've had a chance to actually be in the aircraft as well. What does it feel like?
Oh, well, I guess you have more experience in that count than I do. But I've flown this recently.
Jobs, sir, anytime that you like.
No, I won't give this up for anything.
I didn't think you would. But what does the Rafale feel like?
It's an exceptional aircraft, and the interface is almost out of the world.
Right.
And what a transition that was. I mean, like I told you, I flew MiG-27s out of here.
Yeah.
And if I had even 1/10 of what the Rafale has, would I have been that much more capable than I was at that time?
You know, as part of your responsibilities, you know, at the larger level, of course, there's the entire war fighting business. But you are the father figure at a very basic level to so many air bases in the northeast of the country. And so these visits are important, right? What is it that you try and do?
Well, essentially, first is to get a good connect with what's happening at the field level. And the second, of course, is also to understand how the field is managing to do what it requires to, and what it requires from us at command headquarters to be able to do it better. And I guess that is best achieved when you actually go out and meet the relevant people at field level and get their direct insights, rather than that Chinese whisper which happens when you get reports and returns and the like, which is simply not good enough.
Yeah. And it's also an opportunity to hear firsthand from the youngest pilot or the youngest men and women that you command.
Oh, absolutely.
And not just officers, non-officer ranks, where you make it a point to interact with everybody.
Absolutely. No, when I said to interact with field level, I meant everybody. I meant every person who's here to work for the Air Force.
Yeah.
We interact in that manner. Yes.
Lots of Rafale pictures everywhere over here.
Oh yes, I'm certain they're proud of them.
This entire base has been sort of restructured in a sense with the Rafale in mind. All the buildings and
and a lot of the technical infrastructure has come up. Fresh infrastructure. This complex is new. The sun shelters in front are so also.
Right.
And a lot of the background technical infrastructure required to look after the Rafale is also, of course, spanking new.
All right, so the squadron pilots over here.
Wonderful. Well, good afternoon, gentlemen. What a pleasure it is to be here. Great, come along. Let's sit around and maybe we can chat for a while. Well, gentlemen, as always, it's always fun to be back at Hashimara. The last time I was here was not too long ago, and I did meet some of you here at that time. But then I see a few new faces as well. You tell me, what have you been up to at Hashimara these days?
Flight Lieutenant Aman Pawar. My question is regarding initial days of yours, duties and responsibilities of you being a flying officer and flight lieutenant in your time.
No. We started as pilot officers.
So that is the first answer. But regarding that, how you see the change in the duties and responsibilities for today's generation and pertaining to our fleet as well?
Pertaining to your fleet. To be fair, we flew simpler aircraft. And I think we had more time than you people have. You people are a lot more busy than we were. And but I guess it's important because I guess you have that much more to soak in and your aircraft are that much more capable, and so you have that much wider a canvas to paint. Life was simpler for us.
So I think me being the intermediate generation between them and you, I think I see it as that earlier it was a lot about neuromuscular coordination.
Yes.
And the hand-eye coordination, wherein now it is more about situational awareness, the interpretation of the plethora of information that you have in the cockpit.
That entire ambit has widened so very greatly that I guess that is partly what takes that time away, I guess, because it is not simple to master. When is that solo party? I want to be part of it. Today? Oh, that sounds wonderful. We are going to watch. Can I help with the dunking also?
The pre-flight meals are, it's something that's always done, right?
No, it's a very important part of it because given high performance aircraft, having a pre-flight meal is essential to ensuring that you're physiologically capable of doing what the aircraft is capable of doing. And well, this is where these people enjoy a pre-flight meal, though I notice it is rather an intricate pre-flight meal. To come.
Right? You have to insist that they give you what you would like to have.
These 2 meals that the breakfast and lunch over there. I would like to be the flyer in the morning when you ask. I think most of the places when I was at this place, we usually ask for the cook or the squad. I told him wherever he goes, he's feeding not more than 2 or 3 people in a day. Here this guy is feeding 30 hungry people 3 meals a day. So the best of the cooks.
Without a doubt.
Also the CEO will tell you, I have never ever asked.
No, I believe you, of course.
One of the toughest decisions which a fighter pilot has to make in the morning as to which type of egg is going to be. It's single, double, boiled, omelette.
You miss the old MiG-27. There are a ton of them over here.
I wish some of them could fly.
Yeah, that's true.
But it kind of had come to the end of its useful life.
The squadron itself is one big family. Spouses of pilots here complain that the pilots spend more time at the squadron headquarters than with their families. But there's a sense of shared happiness and there is celebration when a member of the team achieves something special.
One of the most incredible experiences for a young aviator is the opportunity to fully convert to a particular type of aircraft and fly solo. We've come over here at a time when one of the young flyers in the squadron is solo on the Rafale aircraft, and that means there's a bit of a ceremony. What happens now? So he's the victim, right?
Yeah, he is the victim.
Yeah, so there's a victim in this as well. So we need to keep that in mind. Go ahead. What happens?
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I will, as we all know, this is the prestigious moment that we knock off the reheats from Flying Officer Kunal Chaudhary's shoulders. As we all know, this is a remarkable feat for him, that as he has been burning his jet A1, his midnight oils and whatnot, just to achieve this remarkable feat that is going solo. First time ever in this mightiest of the aircraft in the Indian Air Force fleet, Rafale. So without further ado, I will just request He-Man and I'll just do the honors, please.
Right.
Yeah, so first of all, please, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready. Casey, how is the Josh?
Casey.
Hey! There we go.
Now one more time. How's the Josh?
Hey! Sir!
Now I would like to request Group Captain Abhishek Tripathi, Commanding Officer 101 Squadron, to give us the solo patch. This is one of the feats that we get, along with the rituals, of course.
Congratulations, good show. Many more on many more types.
Congratulations.
A squadron is like a home away from home, wherein there is we don't have a concept of colleagues. We have a concept of either brothers and that brotherhood. So from starting from top to bottom, it feels like a big family, along with the wives and children of the squadron. They are a big family. So there are a lot of times when we get together and have a good social conversation and a good social affair.
Away from the camaraderie, the job at hand is clearly overwhelming. The Rafale pilots at 101 Squadron know the challenges that they face day in and day out. Across the line of actual control, just minutes away when a fighter is airborne, lie massively upgraded Chinese air bases. These images, broadcast by NDTV last year, show how the Chinese have forward-deployed state-of-the-art fighters and a vast array of drones. They've also built up the infrastructure at these bases. The pilots at the Falcon Squadron know that they have the platform to pierce China's defenses and strike targets if things get out of control. They train for this mission constantly. The Rafale is widely considered one of the finest ground attack fighters in the world.
Rafale is a very modernized aircraft in which the man-machine interface is very apt. That means that the pilot is very comfortable performing all the duties that is expected out of him. So flying a Rafale coming from a Bison background is a leap forward in terms of technology and the execution of the mission and the varieties of roles that can be performed in a single mission. The number of roles performed by the aircraft are numerous, and because the aircraft is omni-role, you can perform all those roles in a single mission, and you are expected to do that. So as to train yourself in performing all the roles in a single mission is a very big task that the aircraft is asking from you, and to do that is very interesting.
Maintaining these jets is as important as training for war. The Rafale is generations ahead of legacy fighters in the Indian Air Force when it comes to maintainability. It takes just 2 hours to change the engine of one of the fighters. In older Russian types, it would be a process that could last days.
We are the maintenance crew, and maintenance crew working on the Rafale aircraft have gained the insight knowledge on the aircraft since 2019 aircraft is flown, and every air crew is adequately trained, and all the air crew, the maintenance crew can ensure that the serviceability of the aircraft at highest level and ready for the deployment any given time. This aircraft is very maintenance friendly with a short turnaround time. During operation it can be deployed very short notice. Other aircraft it is a very long procedure to replace the engine, but in the Rafale it will take only 3 to 4 hours to change the engine and the aircraft can go for the flying.
A decade back, I'd had the opportunity to fly on board the Rafale off the coast of Istres in France.
And your touchdown normally? Speed?
120 knots in a clean aircraft. If you are very heavy, you can go up to 140, 145.
Right.
Depends on the store.
The sortie saw me fly low over the Mediterranean, including this hair-raising bit where we flew just feet of the deck of the sea in full automatic mode.
Now we turn left to the attack heading.
Yeah.
And the system tells me to go to attack.
Okay.
I'll stay autopilot because we are very low and the autopilot is much safer than me, even if I'm autopilot. Not that bad, huh?
Oh, it's amazing.
Since then, the acquisition of the Rafale has been a saga for the Indian Air Force, with the acquisition process finally being cleared by the Supreme Court. Many of the modes that the Rafale's radar operates with today were being tested at that time, a decade back. Today, the Rafale that the IAF operates is more advanced than any other variant in large-scale service and incorporates several India-specific upgrades. The aircraft can be upgraded even now to incorporate new tech to make it an even more lethal fighting machine.